And first at 5, former Congresswoman Corrine Brown takes the stand today pleading for mercy and compassion during her sentencing hearing this afternoon. Now, a judge will hand down a final sentence on December 4th.
More than a dozen character witnesses were called today to testify, and prosecutors are asking for a sentence between 7 to 9 years in prison. But they say the sentence should be nothing less than 5 years. We have live team coverage tonight. We begin with First Coast News reporter Julia Janae, who was inside the courtroom for today's hearing. Julia?
That's right, guys. There were a lot of tears today in the courtroom, both from the character witnesses who made statements on behalf of Brown, and also Brown herself getting emotional when she gave that statement to the judge, when she said that she humbly and asked for mercy and compassion from the judge. And we also heard from a lot of politicians, clergymen, and even students who said that Brown helped them during their time in school, helping them with things like a computer when their family couldn't afford it. And they used that vibrance and drive that she had in public office as a reason to keep her from going behind bars, with prosecution used that same health and vibrance as proof, telling the judge that this was a reason that she could serve out a prison sentence even at her age. Now, her attorney, James Smith, also became emotional and broke down when he was giving his final statement to the judge, and he was describing Corrine Brown's impact in her political career on the community at large.
Over the year plus of dealing with her, I've had a chance to get to know her, and I have a lot of respect for her and care for her, and I know the enormity and the weight of this day. So yes, I try not to, what's the phrase, there's no crying in baseball. There generally should be no crying in court, but like anyone, I'm human, and hopefully I was able to convey the message that I needed to convey.
Now, our cameras weren't allowed inside federal court, but First Coast News' Jeff Vallon was outside the courtroom. He continues our team coverage. Jeff.
Well, good evening. Yes, Corrine Brown left the courthouse much as she entered it this morning, which is to say surrounded by supporters and without saying a word. Now, in between, the court heard from a list of supporters. We spoke with some of those supporters out here on the plaza, but also some who think that Corrine Brown's punishment should be in line with her 18 convictions.
I let them know that she is an inspiration to not just black women, African-American women, but she's an inspiration also to the Caucasian women, because I have Caucasian women that comes up to me and say, hey, thank you for being there for her.
She done great works, but I feel like even though the greatest works that she done, if she do the crime, she's supposed to get the time, because nobody is above the law.
Now, I also spoke on the phone with Texas Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee, who addressed the court remotely. She said Corrine Brown typifies a true public servant, not just any elected official, that Brown has been selfless in her immense commitment to her constituency. Jackson Lee went on to say that Brown spoke for the underserved and underrepresented, bringing dollars and jobs to the people in her district, that she was a champion for transportation and perhaps most of all for veterans, single-handedly after Hurricane Katrina, rebuilding a veterans hospital in New Orleans, obviously not outside of her district only, but outside of Florida altogether. Whatever happens between now and then, we know that Judge Tim Corrigan has said he will hand down sentencing December 4th. Live on the plaza here outside the federal courthouse in Jacksonville, Jeff Vallon, First Coast News, on your side.
All right, Jeff, thanks so much. And our legal analyst will be here tonight at 5:30 to weigh in on this. Plus, we have a lot more on Brown's sentencing hearing right now on our website. Just head to firstcoastnews.com.